In a KSHB 41 I-Team update, a local school district and church are feeling the impacts of recent allegations and the resignation of their leader. Monday night marked the first time the Blue Springs School Board held a public meeting following the resignation of the former president, Bobby Hawk.
I wanted to assure you that we are steadfast in our commitment to the safety and well-being of our students and staff. The Board of Education remains dedicated to maintaining the highest standards of integrity and trust while being as transparent as possible about the next steps in reorganization.
Bobby Hawk resigned after a young woman came forward claiming he groomed her, in her words, years ago while she was in his youth group at Epic Church KC. Following her public accusations, Hawk also resigned as lead pastor at that church. Since then, at least 2 more women have come forward alleging inappropriate behavior by Hawk at the church. I sat down with some of them. Wednesday, they will be joined by 3 other women at a news conference they're holding to speak out about their alleged experiences. Now, before we share their stories, we should note, while police confirm they are still actively investigating this case, no charges have been filed. However, I have personally spoken with friends and/or family members of all 3 women you're about to hear from who tell us they were told the same version of events prior to those accusations being made publicly.
For years, Allie Turwelager says her life revolved around the church, both as a member and a volunteer. But she says it was during that time that Pastor Bobby Hawk allegedly made inappropriate comments, indicating he wanted to pursue a relationship with her.
It's emotional, it's mental, and spiritual. That's what's so tricky about pastors being in the situation, because you trust them as that figure in your life. And so having this person be a pastor and boss and friend was very complicated.
She says she repeatedly told Hawk his behavior was inappropriate, but claims the comments continued. She alleges most of what she deemed as inappropriate conversations happened via private messages on what was then Twitter, now X. She provided KSHB 41 with copies of some of the messages she says Hawk sent her, all coming from an account listed as belonging to Bobby Hawk that's no longer active. We've reached out to him and Epic Church KC multiple times to inquire about these allegations, but so far our calls and emails have not been returned. Turwelager says ultimately Hawk's conduct toward her prompted her to turn her allegations over to the Epic Church board before she left the church for good in 2013.
There was no staying. There was no option for staying, even if I wanted to. I cared about the church, like the people in the church I cared about, and that was really hard for me.
Turwelager says she recently shared her story publicly for the first time on Facebook after a young woman named Izzy Davis created a website alleging Hawk groomed her years ago as a teen.
The second I read her story, I couldn't even read it. And so for her to have gone through that and to not feel safe and to not feel like she could speak up for all these years, it just made me want to do anything I can.
On her blog post, Davis claimed she was invited to his house for a sleepover with 2 other girls as a reward for being leaders in the church's youth group. She says the alleged unwanted contact happened while they watched a movie.
I just remember we sit down and movie starts. It's going fine at first, and then he grabs my hand and has us like holding hands and then places them both underneath his thigh.
She says that alleged experience when she was 13 prompted her to distance herself from Hawk as much as possible in the future. Years later, she says she confided in a friend who confirmed that story to KSHB 41. But it wasn't until Davis realized Hawk was running for re-election as the school board president that she decided to finally tell her parents.
They kind of froze for a while was their initial reaction, but then my mom got really upset and angry, and like she was sad, she was crying. Yeah, and then since that day, they've just supported me with whatever decisions I've decided to make on bringing this to light or not.
Davis says her parents encouraged her to talk to a therapist who in turn suggested she journal about the experience. She says that turned into the blog post she ultimately made public a few weeks ago. That post caught the attention of another woman who previously worked for Epic Church KC. She too claims she experienced inappropriate behavior at the hands of Hawk.
He's a really likable guy. He's a really smooth talker, and a lot of people loved him. But there was also a side of him that not everyone got to see.
Terwilliger claims she tried to warn the church about her experiences with Hawk, but says the church only met with her then husband and didn't allow her to speak to them on her own behalf. Now, years later, she says she wonders if her concerns weren't taken seriously, which is another reason why she says she's coming forward now.
I think that the Assemblies of God specifically, the way that they handled it, I would hope that they would learn from this and understand that when somebody speaks up about something, it's really freaking hard. And to consider what that means instead of only thinking about protecting the pastor or protecting the church.
All three women we spoke to acknowledge their alleged experiences don't necessarily amount to criminal complaints, but they all say their goal was to ensure Hawk was no longer overseeing students as part of the school board or leading a congregation.
I want to see him never be a pastor again. This person has no business leading anyone on a spiritual journey whatsoever.
Again, all three of these women say they've given police statements about their alleged experiences with Hawk. KSHB 41 did ask Blue Springs Police to confirm or provide police reports in this case, but we were told it's not possible right now because it remains an active investigation. By the way, the church's website is no longer in operation. You can click on it, but it shows you this error, and services appear to have been suspended at the church since Hawk resigned. Church members were asked to join a Zoom meeting last week to discuss the matter, but that meeting was closed to the public. We have been in contact with the Southern Missouri Ministry Network. That's the entity that oversees Assemblies of God churches. The superintendent of that network told me they are involved and are investigating. To see our previous reporting on this topic, you can always visit kshb.com.